Hello, Aries, and welcome back to Cosmic Lovers Tarot. I hope you're having an awesome day, whatever time of day it is that you are watching this video. And we're going to do a love reading today. So again, this is for the signs of Aries. So you could be an Aries sun, moon, or rising. And this is a timeless reading. So whenever it is that you find your way to this video, that was the right time for you to be here. And there will be something here that hopefully that resonates with you. Okay, so for this love reading today, this, I guess I won't really know until I get further into it whether or not this is specifically for someone in separation from their person, but it probably is going to be. We are going to do kind of a split screen assessment here. So we're going to look at your person's overall energy and then kind of how they're doing mentally, how they're doing in the heart space, so like how they're feeling, and then any actions that they might be taking towards you or not taking, basically how they're doing action-wise. Then we're going to cut over and look at you, going to look at your overall energy, how you're doing mentally, or actually this section I think is going to be more like advice for you. So if you are in separation from your person and things are a little stressful, I'm hoping that this triangle right here will be a way for us to find out how you can best nurture your mind, how you can best nurture your heart, and then body kind of doubles as action. So possibly any action that you might take, or just how you can nurture your body. Then we're going to go back to the middle to look at some overall advice for the connection as a whole. So like these sections are more specific, and this is going to be more of an overall overview of the relationship. It might also give us some insight into what the nature of this relationship is, why it exists. Is it a soulmate relationship? Is it a karmic relationship? Is it a twin flame? Something like that. Is there a future there? Like just trying to get some better information to have like shed a little bit of confusion as to what is going on in this connection. And then finally, we're going to look at some action advice for the connection as a whole. So this might tell us but also specifically since you're the viewer, it'll be more geared towards you. So if we don't get action advice covered over here, we're going to go back and make sure that I can leave you with some actionable advice as to whether or not you should reach out to this person, give them space, express your feelings, or move on and try to date somebody else, something like that. So that's the agenda for today. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. All right, you're reading for Aries. Can I get a oracle on Aries's person? Aries's person, what's their overall energy like? What is their overall energy like? Energy overall. Energy overall. All right. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. All right, so this could be their feelings about you, maybe why things ended, or it could be their feelings with their other part, like someone that they're with currently. I am feeling like a little bit of third-party energy here, so this might have been why they ended things with you. They might have said that they just didn't feel attracted to you. Or they didn't like you the same way that you liked them, or they felt like the feelings were mismatched. I'm not sure. We're going to get a little bit further into this, okay? All right. Can I get a, how is Aries' person's mind right now? How are they mentally? How are they mentally? Oh, 10 of Swords. Okay, and that just flew out of the deck. Okay, guys, I'm really feeling like they've hit a wall. Like they've hit I mean, Ten of Swords is all about rock bottom energy. It's about when, you can think of swords as thoughts, actual tangible thoughts, or, well, that's a silly way to phrase that, I suppose, since thoughts aren't altogether tangible, but swords are the personification of thoughts. So the Ten of Swords is that moment when literally, as you can see, everything has come crashing down upon you. Everything that you thought that you knew about a situation, or even just your overthinking, has come to a culmination where it cannot go any further than this. So all those swords that were like floating around on top of your head, all those thought spirals, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. They all come flooding down upon you, and it's basically the forced end of a cycle. It's like the best energetic equivalent of the Ten of Swords is when someone says, fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm done. I'm done, right? So I feel like, okay, so your person has been struggling with something, trying to figure something out, or trying to understand why something happened. I see your person trying to make a relationship work, and not really understanding why they're not able to. But like I said, I feel that more with a third party. So I think like, it's almost like your person has been trying to make a marriage work, or some of you, your person might have children with someone else. And so they're trying to keep the peace. Maybe they've been going to counseling. This is getting very specific, so take what resonates. But for some of you, your person was hurt by this other person. So, your person... It gets confusing trying to talk about this like this, but you feel me. Your person's wife or husband, partner, I believe hurt them in some way. And maybe they were on a break, or they were in separation, and then the two of you got together or rekindled something, and then they chose to go back to their partner that hurt them. And that kind of left you reeling, because you were like, what the hell? Well, I think that what's happening now is that it's almost like, you know how certain wounds in a relationship, I'm sure we've all been there, where someone hurts another one in a relationship, and it creates this chasm in between the two people, and you think that you can heal it by talking it out, processing, going to therapy, spending quality time together, but you just can't really get the hurt and the pain of what the other person did out of your head. That's kind of what your person's going through right now. And they've hit a wall where they're like, I'm done, Now, I don't know what this has to do with you, but maybe we'll get into that. Okay. So how are they doing? How's their heart doing? Interestingly, I don't feel a lot of regret from your person. They feel pretty confident in their decision, and they feel like almost like excited for a new chapter, maybe. I don't know. We'll get some more information, more cards. Oh, wow. Okay. So two tens showing up here. All right, so we've got the Ten of Swords for how they are mentally. 10 of Wands is their heart space. So they feel like they've been carrying the load, like they've been carrying the weight of this relationship with their person, like this whole time. They feel like, also, I just realized, sorry, this gets a little tricky when you're reading for other people. So for some of you, this might have been your relationship with that person. So I guess when I'm describing the relationship with your person and their person, if it sounds like you, it probably is, right? I'm not entirely sure whether it's you or someone else. I think for a lot of you, it is somebody else. Anyways, we'll keep going. So So they feel like your person feels like they have been carrying the emotional weight of this relationship all by themselves. That's what the Ten of Wands is all about. It's like being overburdened. But there's also what's really cool about this is I think this is why I was feeling this kind of fresh start energy from your person. Well, it's because they're batting 2 10s here. There's nowhere to go but up from here. Like they've been carrying so much and they've been doing so much on their own, and they've been like, I don't know, just kind of like struggling through this experience, and they've been really working hard to make this work. And so in the process of working hard with their partner to try to make this work, they have actually been able to learn a lot about themselves and about love and about companionship and partnership and like how to show up for people and how to help people be seen. And so if you guys do end up back together at some point, like I think you're going to be really surprised at how much work they've done emotionally. Like you may not even recognize this person, because after we go through a cycle like this, you know, after we clear out these 10s here, we're not the same people we were at the beginning of them. You know, that's the entire point of our life journey as told through tarot, is like, you know, you start off at the Ace of Wands, you work your way up to the 10, and then, I mean, we do this many times over the course of our lives, but what happens is you change, and your person is going through a really cool evolution, and I'm happy to report that they are happy. They feel liberated. They feel like, I mean, there's a little bit of sadness for some of you, but for most of you, it's just liberation. And they are so excited about like what's on the horizon and what's to come. All right, I'm going to look at maybe how they're doing. Let's see, actions. So any actions they might potentially be taking towards Aries. Any actions they might potentially be taking towards Aries. Let's see if they're going to be interacting with you. Oh, shit. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, guys, they're ready for a new relationship, 100%. It doesn't really get much clearer than that, guys. Truly, it does not get much clearer than that. Oh, hell yeah. So we've got King of Wands as the back of the deck energy here. Okay. So your person is not only like ready to go in terms of a new relationship, they had a sort of epiphany. So they had a big realization that that this person that they were kind of doing all this work to try to make it work with was not right for them, first of all, and also they realized that they were doing like the lion's share of the work. And so now what you have is this incredible, like, so for some of you, your person's self-esteem was not good for a while. Maybe when you met them, maybe not, maybe it took a hit because of this relationship that they were in. But either way, they were in a relationship with someone, a partner, that did not treat them as they should have been treated. They were it's really sad. They were in a relationship with someone who like may have insulted them or like put them down or like belittled their accomplishments. Like they would do something really cool and their person would just be like, yeah, whatever. What else you got? You know, like it was just like coming home and they would be excited. Like it's so sad because like I see your person like kind of brimming over with excitement to like share something with their partner, and then they come home to tell them and they're just met with like this flat energy, like, you know, like they just didn't care. And now they've done this like radical personal transformation and they are excited and they're like ready to be with the person that they deserve to be with. But I would also say, like, you know, be prepared because they're coming in hot. Like, this King of Wands energy is like, I think you might actually be very surprised at how confident and swaggery they are when they show up for you or when they come towards you. Yeah, yeah, that's really all I can say about that. That is very, very straightforward, right? So, yeah, that was extremely straightforward. All right, I'm going to move on now. We're going to switch gears a little bit over here. Come over here, and I'm going to look at how you're doing. So, can I get an oracle on Aries, please? An oracle for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Oracle for Aries. I'm hearing that song from my best friend's wedding, from the opening credits. It's like, I'm dreaming and wishing and hoping and praying. Let's see. His kisses and stars won't bring him back to his heart. I'm trying to think of the lyrics. It's when you're thinking about great truth. I think it's all you have to do is hold him and squeeze him and kiss him and tell him that you care. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but I'm a huge Julia Roberts fan, so I've seen like every single one of her movies at least once or twice, and there's like, that's a really cute one. But anyway, so that might be relevant. Ooh, okay. So your overall energy is deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay. So I'm not totally sure what this is about yet. I will get into it in just a second. I think this has to do with your trust issues, guys. I think this has to do with trust issues and your self-worth. Think that, actually, this is kind of a beautiful situation, even though there's sadness on both sides. You and your person have both gone through a very similar trajectory, meaning I think you were both with people who didn't, not took you for granted, but didn't really celebrate your strengths and instead really highlighted your weaknesses, right? So some of you may have been in a relationship with someone who passed themselves off as a very like caring and kind and empathic person, and they weren't actually. They didn't have your best interests at heart. They might have been like a narcissist masquerading as an empath, for example, or something like that. And what it did is it caused you to develop like a deep mistrust. And so this mask analogy is a twofold. It's a twofold symbol, because on the one hand, it's the mask that the other person was wearing in the relationship to you. But what it ended up doing was it caused you to start wearing a shield, which is not a mask, but so now you have this, like, you have your guard up, basically. That might have been what caused this kind of separation from your person. I'm not totally sure, but that definitely might have had something to do with it. All right. So now I'm going to look at how you can best support yourself mentally during this time. How can Aries best support themselves mentally? Okay.
Can I give you something? Natasha gave me a gift for her. Sorry, you're doing your...
All right, so... Sorry, somebody was hollering at me through my window. It like distracted me. Okay. All right, so how you can best support yourself mentally during this time. We've got the 5 of Coins in reverse. So pretty straightforwardly, the 5 of Coins talks about a feeling of lack, or a feeling of, literally being left out in the cold, feeling like people aren't It's a little bit of people have it better than you, but also like, again, I'm getting this big sense of distrust from you. It's like, okay, bear with me here. Mentally, you're being asked to, and this is weird. So just bear with me here. I've never gotten any kind of like message like this before. Okay, so you know how sometimes like you can you're encouraged to write, like do a free writing exercise where you just like imagine your most perfect life, as if like money were no object. Basically, you just design your perfect life and then you work on manifesting it. But the first stage is dreaming. You dream it into reality by first choosing to let yourself fantasize or like daydream about your best possible outcome in life, right? And then once you have a picture of your best possible outcome, then you can then go about manifesting this. This is about mentally, you are being encouraged to do an exercise, a mental exercise, where you imagine what it would look like to have a tribe of people who have your back and care for you. You were let down a lot, and you weren't supported in the ways that you should have been. And I think it's very unfortunate that you let your guard down with some people who took advantage of you. And that has kind of been the theme of your adult life and possibly your childhood life as well. So it's like you showed your belly to someone and they stabbed you. So now you are afraid that every time you show your belly, you will get stabbed. Well, the universe wants to restore your faith in humanity through the cards. They're inviting you to imagine what it would be like to be 100% supported by the people in your life. What would you ask for? Okay, that's it. If you knew, that's it. I know that's what it is. Okay. If you knew that any request that you made of somebody, okay, so think about it. I get this because I'm exactly the same way. So this resonates with me a lot. In fact, as often, I'm an Aries, so sometimes the Aries messages do come through for me, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this too. I think this is a great exercise. I'm going to do it like, I don't know, maybe hopefully tonight. But, okay, so if you think about it, you know, you work up the courage to ask someone for something, and then they reject you. It's like it stings worse. It's like maybe they didn't know how much guts that took for you to even ask, because you're one of those people that goes it alone and doesn't ask people for help. And so when you finally worked up the courage to say, hey, I'm struggling, could you please help me? And then they slam the door in your face. Now you're like, oh, fuck no, I am never asking for help ever again. Okay, so the universe is asking you to reassess that stance. And the best way to do that, because like you don't even know in what areas of your life you would like help because you've done everything on your own. So, which is not to say that you haven't participated in community, but I think like, especially in your inner world, your emotions, you don't ask for support, and you could. So the first step is to pretend like every request that you make of people will be granted, and will be granted like not just willingly, but gladly. So imagine that your life is filled with people, tribe mates, community members, chosen family, actual family, but you are filled to the brim with people who genuinely want what's best for you and are more than happy to help you on your journey. Okay, so then I want you to just imagine if you had this group of people, what would you ask them for? Because I think that the people that have existed in your life leading up to now haven't known how to support you best. And so now you don't know how you are best supported. And I totally get that, because it's like, it's so frustrating to have people just be like, well, just ask for help. And you're like, I don't know what help I need. I've been managing my own emotions my whole life. I don't know how to ask for emotional support. Like, you don't even know how to ask someone to listen to you or like hold space for you, because you've never really had anyone who was willing to do that, who would do it gladly without. Also, you might be a little bit of an empath, you might be intuitive, and so you can pick up on when people don't really want to help you and they're doing it begrudgingly, and you don't want to be a burden, so you're like, no, I'm good, I got this, you know? So yeah, as a thought experiment, just imagine that you have a community of people around you who have your back and want what's best for you and will gladly, not just willingly, but gladly fulfill your every emotional need. And then brainstorm what that would be. And then that's how we're going to put that into the universe. We're going to put it into the universe. We're going to tell universe that that is the kind of community that you want, a community that will support you in like X, Y, and Z. And then that will arrive. So first we need to find like what support you need. And that's how we're going to find it with that journaling exercise. All right. Now, how can you best support yourself emotionally? How can you best... Oh, okay. I'm just going to take this one. All right. Knight of Wands in reverse. This might be relating to an actual person. This might be... I'm going to get clarification. Can I get clarification on this Knight of Wands, please? Clarification on Knight of Wands. Clarification on Knight of Wands, please. Yeah, so in the feelings world, all right, this is a little bit murky, but here we go. I'm going to do my best to explain this. It's kind of a complicated idea, but the idea is that, okay, without wanting to admit it, you've kind of been hoping and praying for your knight in shining armor to come and rescue you, your person. You've been like hoping and praying that they would. And I think that for a lot of you, you haven't been willing to admit that to yourself. So you've been keeping it kind of under wraps. You're like, no, I don't really want them to come and help me, but you really do. So step one would be acknowledging that in your heart space and saying, okay, my heart actually wants to be rescued. And then finding a way to meet yourself in the middle. So temperance is about blending opposites, finding the balance between two things. So I think this is why this is tricky, because what you're being called to do is first assess how much of you wants to be rescued. How much of you is asking for, is hoping for like a savior to come and get you? And how much of you is wanting a relationship specifically so that you will feel like safe and comforted and almost like your journey is over? And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine to be looking for that in a relationship, but you also have a little bit of shame overlapping this. It's like a little shame cloud that is masking or marring that experience. So the call to action here is to first and foremost acknowledge that you're looking for someone to rescue you. And then, like I said, it's kind of confusing because it's like you want to acknowledge that and you want to not forgive yourself for it, but give yourself permission to want that. And then also figure out ways that you can get that. Like, it's not, I think that you're worried about being codependent, but that's not the issue here. I don't think that you are codependent. I think that you have just spent a good bit of time kind of on your own and going through these struggles alone, and you're really just kind of like aching for a teammate or someone to share it with. And maybe that's not you wanting to be rescued, you know? So I think part of this strange meander that I'm going on here is the fact that you yourself are not quite clear about what you want out of a relationship, and you're being called to really to get to the bottom of that, you know? Are you looking for someone to like check these certain boxes, to be there for you? Or are you looking for more of just like a casual relationship where you mostly fulfill your own needs, and then this person is just kind of like a good time pal, you know? And wherever that is, you know, it's okay. But right now, like I said, you're a little bit off balance because, oh, I know. Yeah, you're a little bit off balance because you are craving this Knight of Wands, but you don't even know what your Knight of Wands is. That's what it is. Okay. So, yeah. So you feel like you want this relationship to happen, but you don't know what that means, if that makes sense. You haven't gotten 100% clear on what type of relationship you want or who you want that person to be. And so that's what you're called to do for your heart, you know, is, and again, same kind of energy as this mental exercise is like, this exercise for your heart is like, give yourself the best and give yourself permission to have the best, because you are allowed. All right, let's body. All right, moon. Okay, so definitely playing around with some all right, working on your mental acuity might be really good for you right now, or psychic acuity, I should say. In terms of body, this is looking like experimenting with different forms of perhaps ritual or like sensual luxuries that you might have not forbidden yourself to have before, but there's definitely this call to like explore your body and kind of get to know yourself on a more intimate level. Perhaps this moon in reverse feeling like unraveling the mystery of yourself and shedding light on the parts of yourself that don't get a lot of, they don't get seen very much. This is also a call to reflect back on the work that you've done, how you got here. But the whole theme of your whole triangle is like you are worthy of exploration, you are worthy of being showcased, and you are worthy of being loved in exactly the way that you desire, basically. That like your desires are not wrong. Yeah, basically that. I mean sorry, there was something else here. Nature, getting out in nature might be really beneficial for you, but there was something else. I talked about your body, getting in touch with your body, uncovering parts of yourself, shedding light on your like inner mysteries, really getting cozy with your inner world, whether that's free write journaling or writing poetry. Shadow work might be really beneficial for you. Oh, I know what I was going to say. In terms of advice on this connection, I think, unless I am clarified differently over here, moon in reverse overall energy of, or overall advice, if we're looking at advice here, is to let it ride and get comfy with not knowing what's going on with it, because it doesn't look like things are going to get cleared up anytime soon, unfortunately. I know that's pretty straightforward, but that's what I got. All right, I'm going to pull an overall advice for the connection. We get some info on what is up with this connection. What is up with this connection? this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. All right, well, that sounds like this is definitely relating to somebody that you know, that you already know. I think this is someone that you have a lot of shared, okay, a couple of different things. I think you have shared interests with this person for sure that go beyond the normal, like, coupley shared interests. This is definitely a divine connection, seeing, like, these angels above. Also, you two have shared past lives together. That's what this you've already met, the romantic partner you seek means. So this could be soulmate. This could be twin flame. You guys have definitely incarnated several times together. I think you've been in relationships together before. I don't know how many times. I don't know if I think that this could be the one energy is more about, less about this could be the one, like the one partner, and like this could be the one lifetime. Like this could be the one lifetime where we get it right, you know? All right, I'm going to get a little more, one last overall action card for the relationship, overall advice for the relationship. Okay, we got 8 of Cups in reverse, guys. So, a lot of times this is about healing for me. So, yeah, definitely. Okay, so the 8 of Cups, the story of the 8 of Cups is this gentleman here has 8 cups. He already has 8, but he notices that one is missing, and he is determined to go find the other cup. And he is willing to go out under cover of darkness with no map. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know how he's going to find this other cup, but he is determined to find it because he's missing it. This is an act of bravery, and this is an act of determination. This is an act that is done boldly, knowing that he could fail, knowing it's going to be confusing, knowing he doesn't know the territory. He goes forward anyways because he has to. But to me, in the reverse position, what this does is this is almost like a journey back. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to impress upon you. This is you and your person. Okay, say this is for those of you who were already in a relationship with your person, and then you split off, and now you're hoping for a reunion. One of you is. These 8 cups here was the relationship that you had with your person. You've got a lot. You've got a lot going on. However, one or both of you decided to leave it. And you may not have consciously decided. You know, the moon is all about subconscious desires and subconscious programming. And I'm pretty sure that you guys separated because of a sub or unconscious desire to find more out of life. And this more is here, this missing cup, that's healing that's taking place. You needed to heal from past lifetimes, past karmic contracts, things like that, soul ties, that whole thing. So one or both of you went off on this bold journey out into the unknown, into this moon, into their own moon, their shadowy moon territory, in search of this missing cup. And then I think that our message that we're getting here is that it's now time for that return. But see, here's the thing that gets tricky is that both of you have to do your own moon journey, and you still have to both willingly choose to come back at the end of it and want to reunite as a couple. So there's a lot of ambiguity here, guys. I wish that I could tell you like for sure. Although it's interesting because your person's side is clear as day. Like your person's reading was like that. It was black and white. It was like, okay, I've had enough. I'm moving on. This feels like divine masculine energy. Your connection, your situation, what you've got going on felt a lot more, not wishy-washy, but a lot more ephemeral, a lot more, you know, you've got the moon showing up here. So it's a lot more like, what is going on? Is this gray area? It's like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Whereas your person feels very secure, very solid, very steadfast, knows what they're doing, knows what they want, that kind of thing. So it might be that this is your journey and your person will just be there with this Two of Cups. Like that this might, oh yeah, this is funny because I was just talking about how this, I was just talking about how the Eight of Cups is like you guys in your journey having to go get your cups. And then I was like, oh, and your person's got the Two of Cups right here. So this might be the two of you coming back together and you found your missing cups in the Eight of Cups. And you're like, cool, okay, I found my ninth cup and these are your two 9 cups coming together. I hope that that is the case for you. It certainly seems that way. So I would get ready because it looks like the King of Wands is on his way to you, but you never know with this kind of thing. So, all right. Well, that's all I have for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed the reading. It was my pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for allowing me to do so. And if you enjoyed the reading, please like the video or subscribe for future content. I try to post zodiac readings every day. I do twin flame readings on Saturday. And I do deck flip throughs on Friday. I was thinking about a different style reading to do on Sundays, but now I can't remember what that was. So stay tuned, I guess, on that. And yeah, if there's anything you'd like to chat about or something that resonated, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. And yeah, I will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.